Paranormal Buzz Radio is proud to present Girls vs. Ghost Media's Spooky Talk with Madison Smith from Madison Paranormal. You can find Spooky Talk every other Sunday, 6 Eastern, 5 Central, right here, live on Paranormal Buzz Radio. Be sure to join in the live interactive chat by going to Spreaker.com or downloading the Spreaker app for all devices.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host, Madison Smith.
Hi everyone, I'm Madison Smith, and I would like to welcome you all to Spooky Talk with Maddie. Tonight's guest is someone I have not had the pleasure to meet yet. He is part of the North Canton Paranormal Detectives, LLC, in North Canton, Ohio. His team is a group of like-minded individuals who are dedicated to investigating the paranormal phenomena and also designing paranormal equipment. So, with that, I'd like to introduce Jeff and Susie Eastman from NCPD.
Hi, Madison.
Hello.
Hi, Madison. Do you like to go by Madison or Maddie?
Doesn't really matter to me, honestly.
Okay, well, thank you for having us.
No problem. Such a joy to finally meet you guys, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay. So, shall we start?
Absolutely.
The awesomeness? Okay. So, Jeff and Susie, how old were you when you first got into the paranormal?
I'd say
How old?
we were watching Ghost Adventures and Taps early in the, 2008, 2009, and finally decided to, we can do this. Mm-hmm. And I bought my first digital recorder, and our daughter Katie went to Ohio University, and right across the river is an asylum. So I said one of the times when I was dropping her off, hey, let's go down to the graveyard and do like an EVP session. I've seen it on TV. So I ended up capturing my first EVP. And from that point on, I got hooked. And it became, the small things like the digital recorders and the cameras. And Susie would tell you that there was always something coming in the mail. But I think it was around 2012, we actually formed the group. And in 2013, helped start the Ghost down in the Canton Palace Theater. Mm-hmm. The Ghost Investigations down at the Canton Palace Theater, which was on what they call First Fridays. And that's where we have people come in and break them up into groups and actually do a ghost hunt. So that was all right around 2012 is where it all took off.
Well, we're not going to tell you our age because that would date us.
I know that's rude to ask, so I'm not going to.
So, yeah, we started with the shows, got some equipment, started doing some investigations. We hooked up with another team named Team Spectre. Mm-hmm. And we investigate. We like to kind of say we're our own team, but also we're part of that team.
Yeah, we're affiliated with them.
Yes, so we do a lot of investigations with them, a lot of volunteer work. Some of the places where you need a larger group, we go together.
Yeah, like Ohio State Reformatory or Hillview. Places that you need a lot of people, we'll call on our group friends and we'll get about the minimum it takes to go. And so usually order pizza, do our investigations, share what we find during the night, and it's a lot of fun.
a lot of camaraderie. It's just fun to have friends who are interested in what you're interested in. And so it's kind of a social thing, too. Do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, you get to meet everybody and be, like, buddy-buddy with them, you know.
That's right. You're kind of like-minded. And it's fun to go to dinner.
Especially if they pay. Okay, no.
Yeah. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. My dad usually pays for me. I don't have to worry about that yet. Well, luckily, I don't have to worry about that yet.
You've got a few years. Take advantage of it while you can.
Oh, trust me. I have.
You've been to a lot of different places, Madison.
Yeah. You've
been on a television program, the News Channel.
Yeah.
There's somebody in New York.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Class.
Mm-hmm. And on your show the other day, you had somebody in from Ghost Hunters, the new one.
Yep.
See, we've been doing our research.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you impressed?
Quite a bit, actually.
No, it's been some time, though, since I got an email from you. It seemed like over a year and a half ago. Say, hi, my name's Madison. I don't have a lot of money, but those dowsing rods look pretty cool.
Yep.
That's how we met.
Yep, they're still my favorite.
Aw, thank you. They're our favorite, too.
I want to thank you, because I think at least 5 people in your neck of the woods when they purchased the set, they mentioned your name, and I said, that's great. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, and another thing, me and my dad are thinking about getting a red set so I could have the Sith and the Jedi.
Oh, yeah. So that's the new version. We can talk about that later.
Ooh, okay.
We should let you ask questions, so we'll be quiet a minute.
No, it's okay. Talk as much as you like. If you want to talk about cake, we will talk about cake. Okay. All right. So on your first EVP that you've caught at your first investigation, do you remember what it said or anything?
Oh, yes. We were walking amongst unmarked gravestones. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of surprising. I've seen a lot of real names and then came across some that were just numbers. And I go, why are these just numbers? I wasn't familiar with unmarked graves. And the EVP it sounded like insignificant, and it got kind of cut off, like insignificant.
Yeah.
But since then, nowadays, I've got some pretty powerful software and techniques that I use that I don't look for just words. I get conversations. So that's a whole different topic.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And just to clarify what NCPD stands for, can you tell me more about that? Well,
at first, my wife did not want me to use it because in North Canton, NCPD stands for North Canton Police Department.
I thought we were going to get in trouble. I'm like, Jeff, you better check this out first.
But I knew we were going to be paranormal detectives, go to locations, do some research, and we're from North Canton, so it all kind of just came together, NCPD.
North Canton Paranormal Detectives.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nice.
And then not only do we have a group that investigates, but then Jeff also has a business where he's a mechanical engineer by profession and loves inventing stuff. He has like over 60 patents. Yeah. And so there's nothing he can't invent or make if he puts his mind to it. And I look up to that. He's very creative and innovative. And because this is our interest, he started thinking, what can I make to improve some of the equipment we use?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's kind of where the dowsing rod started out. On top of all the normal equipment, taking cameras and taking out the IR filters and making new IR lights and all that other stuff, we were using coat hangers as dowsing rods given to us. And I got, well, okay, that's a good starter. Then we graduated to the beaded handles that you could buy on the internet. And I thought, well, I don't like the beads. I want a precision ball bearing. So I made my own. And then it turns out you couldn't see them. in the dark. We always had to have our flashlights out.
And then we would hear us getting the flashlight out and rubbing it against the metal, and we always thought that was
when we were charging them up.
Yeah, when we were charging it up. What is that? What did we get on our recorder? And it was just annoying.
That was the glow-in-the-dark paint phase.
Yeah.
So I had like 12 layers of glow-in-the-dark paint on it, and we would charge them up. And this was when we were down at the Palace Theater helping out for the ghost hunts. Really handing out the equipment, have people trying it. That's where someone would be using them, and it's 4 minutes later, and I go, somebody in the group saying, I can't see the dowsing rods anymore. Was that a yes or a no? Okay, let me go charge them up again with the flashlight. So I thought there's got to be something better, and I came across the electric light wire, and that's the version that you have with a little power supply. We've got the different colors, the green, blue, pink, yellow,
orange,
and orange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that kind of took off. It was a lot of fun. It's really great to see little videos, even videos you've put up online of people using them. I go, yeah, I know that.
It makes us happy, because we like them and we're glad other people like them too. And you have to practice with them. You have to make sure you're not tipping your hands because you want it to be legitimate. We would never fake anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Jeff has really, he's gotten great at them. And there's places we'll go, they don't move at all. There's places we go, we get a lot of movement. Like down in solitary confinement at Ohio State Reformatory.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite places. To go down there all by myself at 4 o'clock in the morning and sit down and invite who's ever down there. And I've got some pretty good video that I want to put up. I got involved with this group, this dowsing group on Facebook, and they use dowsing for finding water and other things. And I introduced them to the paranormal. And they go, well, it'd be nice if you could give us some video and a little training lesson. So I'm going to put that video together for them. But I really enjoy sitting down and making a connection with something, asking them questions. We never provoke or ask questions like, well, how did you die? Was it gruesome? It's always respectful and basically, give me I'm 5'8". How tall were you when you were alive? And just go
really
through
learn
the whole.
A lot.
Yeah, just go through the whole color, eyes, hair, and then you get a picture of the spirit on the other side, and it's pretty cool.
Maddie, how do you like using them?
Okay, so I have a ghost. I have 2 ghosts that I know of in my house. There might be a third one, not really sure.
Really?
But me and him talk all the time, and I'm pretty sure that my dowsing rods are in my room. So, because I use them a lot.
Okay, during the day, during the night, anytime, huh?
Anytime.
Yeah. Some people have said to us, well, is that just gimmicky with the colors? And no, it serves a purpose. Because if you're in the dark, it lets people see the movement. And the rods are really good quality, and I think you can say that. They're made so well. Jeff hand makes everything with the ball bearings and the handles and the balance and the movement. So. Yeah.
They are really well built, so.
Right. I want people to understand that because it's not just all about the lights. But he can tell you his version 2.0 now.
Oh, are we there now? Okay, so I've got a lot of feedback from people who say, hey, Jeff, what color do the spirits like to communicate with? Is it blue, the green, the pink? And I tell them, I don't know. It's more of a preference for you. If you're comfortable using blue or green, maybe that just emanates and lets the spirits know that you're comfortable with it. Anyhow, I looked for a different technology to try to get those all into one dowsing rod. And then the color red came up when somebody told me, hey, Jeff, by the way, red light interferes less with video equipment, and could you make a red set of dowsing rods? Okay, there's another color. So I have an electrical engineer that I work with, Dustin from Go Technologies, and I said, Dustin, I got this challenge for you. We need to develop a custom circuit card that can give me all these colors. And he did that. I found a way to get a new light pipe running down the length of the shaft. And we've got those 5 colors now. Actually, 4 colors. So there's blue, green, and pink. I threw in another one, kind of a yellow-orange. We're maybe taking that one out. But then there's the color red. And it's just by clicking on the button that those colors will change.
Yeah.
And so what I like to try an experiment with the red and the green dowsing rod. So, can you see these?
Yeah.
You can, Maddie.
Yeah, I can.
That's kind of hard.
There you go.
So that's
the blue.
There's your
I'd have
blue.
to turn off the lights so you can see them better.
Green. There's your
It's
pink.
kind of a pinky purple.
Oh, it looks like purple over here, so.
Yeah.
There's your orange, and then here's your red color.
Yeah, in the dark, they're very bright, but we don't have the light off.
I could shut the kitchen lights off. But anyhow, to have one turned on as green, the other one is red, I would tell the spirits that the green would be a yes, and a no would be a red color. And then not having to have to cross the dowsing rods, but to move the green one if the answers were yes, and the red one for a no.
It's just a different way of using them. Trying to think outside the box a little bit.
Yeah, that's actually really freaking creative, not gonna lie.
Yeah. He's a pretty creative guy.
I can tell.
Hey, and I gotta tell you, our daughter Katie, she's really creative too. She is a Disney Imagineer down in Orlando. So I think she got some of his creativity.
Nice.
Yeah, she helped come up with the Paralight logo that we'll talk about later. So, things like that.
I'm only creative in the aspect of art, so.
Well, that's a shame. She loved art. So go for it.
Same here. I have like 17 sketchbooks down here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, Madison, what was your best dowsing rod session that you were involved with? Something that, not around the house, that's kind of unfair. You've gone to a location, you think you're communicating with the spirit, and you're really getting some activity. Where would that have been?
Okay, so I'm going to have to go with Malvern. Malvern Manor, Malvern, Iowa. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. We'll have to head out that way sometime.
Yeah, it's really fun down there. It might be a smaller building, but it has a bunch of energy. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name, but there's a Shadow Man hallway. If you go this way and then... I don't know how to freaking explain it. But it's one of the ending doors. And the lady thought that she was not beautiful enough because her husband got that into her head, basically.
Ah.
So she would pull out her hair and everything. And we were having a full-on conversation. And the funniest thing was, I said, "Do you like your husband?" No.
I wouldn't either.
So basically, we started roasting the husband.
Oh.
Okay.
And then we convinced her that she was beautiful. So now she has confidence.
I like that.
Yeah, we
go,
tried.
Girl.
She has confidence.
Do you ever try pointing questions too? Like, if you're in this room, can you point the rods in your direction? That sometimes works for us as well.
Yeah, I say, "Where are you? Can you please point to you?" And they're like, "Yeah." Sometimes they're like, "No, thanks." You know? So, yeah. Okay. So, what was your first phenomena, and, like, where did you get it, really? What did you use to get it?
Okay, so there's your video phenomena, orbs and things. There's your great EVPs, pictures, dowsing rods.
Maybe we can just talk about some of the really important and good evidence we've gotten with certain equipment.
Okay. EVPs, the Kent Stage up in Kent, Ohio. We help out with their paranormal weekend. And when we do that, we also get a free investigation at that location. Well, we heard there was a girl that would, or a female spirit that would show up downstairs in the basement, where there's like green rooms and there's a catering room down below the stage. So my wife and I are down there with our equipment, and we're setting up for like an interview of somebody sitting across from us, but we had no idea who it was, but that it was a young female, and so we interviewed her. All one way, just talking, asking questions. And then
keep stalking.
At home, I went through the evidence.
Oh, look at that. Love your artwork.
Yeah.
So then I went through the EVPs, and lo and behold, we had a conversation, about a 40-minute conversation with a female spirit, and she had some guests along.
Mm-hmm. You could hear the difference in their voice tones.
It was such a good conversation. We put it together as an evidence to present to her.
Mm-hmm. And then she asked us during one of their paranormal weekends to present it to the people who came to that event. So we got to be up on stage and share our EVPs.
So this was Rochelle. She's the owner. When we were doing the presentation to her in the same room with the laptop and the earphones on, and she's listening, watching the video, she stopped us in the middle of it and said, "Stop it right here. You got to listen to this." And there was a portion where we asked the spirits who was the owner, the current owner of the Kent stage, and it was Charlton. Mm-hmm. The last name came in as Charlton. And knowing that her last name was not Charlton, Rochelle Charlton.
Yeah, whatever it was, whatever we heard, it definitely was her name, and she was amazed.
She said many years ago she worked with handicapped kids who couldn't say her last name of Charleston.
I think so what'd they call her? Charlie or something?
They call her Charlie.
Yeah.
She heard Charlie on the EVP, and she said that's what they called me many years ago. So anyways, in the end, she was very impressed with it, and she asked us to do a presentation on the stage with our video, and we answered questions, and that was a lot of fun.
Something else that was fun, down at the Canton Palace Theater, we had a group down there, and they actually were dowsing, and a man was there who just supports the Palace Theater and, isn't really into ghost hunting. But later we watched our video back. And while he was dowsing, he was sitting in a wooden chair. And this big ball of electricity, burst under his chair down to the floor. And that was really cool that we caught that, on our video camera that was just over in the corner. God bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So I was listening to the EVP of that dowsing rod session, and I heard a loud clap. And I thought, what could have made that noise? Let's go back to the video. And fortunately, I had everybody sitting in an arc and the IR camera running. And sure enough, like Susie said, underneath this wooden chair, in 3 frames, a large white ball, about the size of a softball, sparked.
Oh, yeah.
Hit the ground. And so that was pretty interesting, and we were telling that story to the organist of the building, Jay Spencer. And he said, I had an experience where a ball of light, as he was performing, this was a very old theater, it's 1926, and they have silent movies. Anyways, before the movie, he plays the organ. And while he was up on stage, right by his head, a light came by and a big clap noise.
And the whole audience saw it too, not just him, because he was playing before the film.
And as we were telling him about that, and we showed him the video, he thought that was exactly what he heard that day.
And saw that night, yeah. So that was cool. We've also had the opportunity to sit with others at a table, and it's what they call table tipping. It's not like the table actually tips. I don't really consider it a seance.
Are you familiar with table tipping?
Just putting your hands on the table and asking questions. And just like with the dowsing rods where they move for yes or no, the table can move for yes or no. And I know, this is amazing. Okay, it was one of the first times we were with this group, and a couple people are very sensitive, and their energy gets drained during this, but the table will move, one way and then the other way, or it'll tip up a little bit. Now, it doesn't levitate. Now, Jeff had his camera, okay? Now, we think, okay, we're with this group. We believe in this, but this is just so unusual. He got down on his hands and knees, was videotaping under the table.
I
were
thought
no knees moving it, no hands pushing it. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had.
Susie sat at the table. Our daughter, Katie, she was also there. And I think in all there was 8 people around this big table.
And the movement we got for show us yes, show us no was just amazing.
We're not talking little bitty movements. This table was jumping and bouncing.
Yeah.
And that was pretty profound as a paranormal experience. That will always.
Yeah.
That's like at the top of our list
of
things to happen.
Okay. So a table was a trampoline.
Kind of. We have video.
Yeah, I have video. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it up on the internet because the location that we did it at may not approve.
Yeah, because they have children there at times and so forth. So I'm not sure what they want publicized.
Yeah.
How about you? Like, what's some of your favorite experiences?
I have a lot of them, but I'm going to tell my first one.
Your top one.
Yeah. Okay. So I was at for our schoolhouse, and it was in the boiler room. Yeah, boiler room. And it was the 2-day detention. So it was 2 days. Of course, we did not stay the night because we live close. Well, quote unquote close. So we just drove back home and then drove back the other day. So basically, I was sitting in the boiler room, and the thing is, all the lights were out. There was a room behind me. I was sitting in a chair.
Are you by yourself?
Yeah, by myself. But there was cameras in there, so if I needed to get out, they would be like, okay. But there was an ash room to the left of me, and I heard footsteps coming towards me. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just sound contamination from the outside. But then it stopped. And then I felt this really cold breeze against my neck, like a second later. And I was like, okay, I'm done.
Get me out of here.
Yeah. The thing is, I lasted more than the adults. Well, most of the adults. Which is honestly kind of sad in my opinion, but it's okay.
Well,
at least they went out of their comfort zone,
Yeah, it's really great when you have 2 or 3 things going on at the same time that all kind of validate each other. Maybe your dowsing rods are working. Maybe you're catching an EVP at the time. Maybe the hair is going up on your arms. We had an instance like that when we were at Ohio State Reformatory, where the rods were pointing. The girl who was doing it is very sensitive. She started crying. Jeff went over to walk in that room, and it's the first time he's ever felt that static charge.
Yeah, you get the electric feel, and you go, holy mackerel, look at this hair on my arms. And it's a completely different feeling. You can smell it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, the hill view, the thing that you mentioned by the start of our podcast, can you tell me more about that place?
Hillview Manor?
I'm not sure if we talked about that or not. We're actually, this coming weekend, we're going to Pennhurst Asylum over in Pennsylvania. We have never been there before.
Yeah, they just opened because of the COVID. A lot of places have been closed down.
Yeah. But Hillview Manor, that's over in Pennsylvania too, not quite as far of a trip. That's one of our favorite places to go.
Yeah. In fact, they were just on Destination Fear.
Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah.
And they made it seem so dark, The
guy got scratched.
Was
Dakota.
Like vomiting.
Oh, the one camera guy, he threw up.
Yeah, and we've never had negative experiences there, but we have gotten quite a lot of activity.
It's kind of fun seeing on TV other investigation groups that are, national TV, going to these locations. And then they get a whole different experience, and I didn't know it was that dark. Actually, I had a good time. I was talking with a lot of spirits, and so...
Yeah, down in the boiler room there, George. There's supposed to be a spirit named George. He's a big Pittsburgh Steeler fan, so there's like this whole shrine of football stuff in there. But we have gotten quite a lot of activity down there. And again, things
EVPs.
happening at the same time. EVPs and K2s
The K2
and
meters going
just
off.
going off to questions, flashlights going off to questions. One of our friends had a touch down there the one time. Dee did, remember? So that place just has a lot of different activity depending on where you are. Yeah.
And what's your favorite place to be in there?
Probably the boiler room, do you think? Or the one room where we get a lot of dowsing rod activity too.
Where the piano.
Where the piano
like the chapel.
No, I don't know. Well, it's
not
one
the
of the
chapel.
chapels.
It's on the other side of the building.
Yeah, gosh, you go to so many places and it's hard to keep it all straight.
Yeah, like some places really great dowsing, other places EVPs. I like locations that are so big that you can lose your group and not worry about contamination.
Yeah.
You can be somewhere down in a solitary confinement and not worry about people walking above you and so forth.
It's kind of, Maddie, what you were saying. It's hard when you use your EVP recorder and you think you're being so quiet and you want to hear the evidence you got, but you worry about the contamination. Is it somebody out on the street? Is it somebody in your team that's close by or somebody walking on a floor above? And I think Jeff and I struggle with that a lot. Even with myself, like I try to be so good and not whisper, but then you start doubting yourself.
Yeah.
Because the software I have for analyzing EVPs, I can go down several layers. And if there's somebody in the building talking, part of the group, I'll pick that up. And as soon as I pick it up, I have to start throwing out that evidence because it's contaminated.
So I know you have a lot of equipment. What do you like to use?
Yeah, what's your
The dowsing rods.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, around the house with the two ghost friends.
You'll have to tell us more about that. Are they friendly
Okay.
at least?
Yeah, they're friendly.
Okay. Now your mom and dad are ghost hunters too?
My mom, she believes in it. She doesn't do it.
Okay.
My dad, he does it. Like, he's not into it as me, but he still does it.
Is that how you got started though? Did you go somewhere with them?
My dad, so he saw that I was watching a bunch of paranormal stuff, like YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, and he was like, Maddie, do you want to go to one of these places? I'm like, oh my god, yes. So then he took me to one, and a lot of people say that I was really good at it, because in general, I'm just a quiet person. Like,
How
when I'm
old were you
alone,
then?
I was like...
Your first paranormal investigation.
I was like 9 or 10 or something.
Well, good for you.
So, yeah.
And so you've been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think like when we started doing it, you can be kind of inhibited and it's like, what am I doing here? Do I, am I looking silly? Am I asking the right questions? And we see that with other people who come like on their first try. And so we try to tell them there's no right or wrong. Just relax, be yourself. We can't make things happen, but if they do, it's awesome. So you kind of have to let loose a little bit and just be okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so other than the dowsing rods, you've got another piece of equipment with you. What is it?
Like electronic or...
I don't know. We're always
Anything.
looking for something new to try too, so we like to ask others.
Okay, so I like pendulums and Ouija boards as well. I'm more into the stuff that you get to, not saying that you get to play with it as a, like,
you
a
interact
toy, but interactive,
Yeah.
I'm more into that because I have a short attention span. Like, I can literally be like, oh yeah, I have 2 strikes and a ball. Very next thing, out, wait, what?
When you're catching.
So, yeah.
But I do think people, that's why they like those dowsing rods, is because it's a very personal experience. Yeah. So we haven't really tried pendulums. We'll have to try that sometime.
No.
Now, are you afraid to try the Ouija board? They kind of have a bad rep.
I have a bunch of them. Can't really see them, but they're there.
Do you get responses?
Okay, so sometimes, so, not saying that they don't work, but I'm still testing with them, you know, because I don't, like, I believe in them, but I don't fully, you know.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of in the middle, but I'm more to the believing side because I use them, and a lot of people do. Like, the stuff on YouTube, not trying to call them out, but some of it, or most of it, is...
Yeah, you have to be a little bit skeptical and, you know, have some good judgment on that. Now, does it take somebody else to do it with you?
I usually do it with somebody else just for safety reasons.
Yeah.
I never done it in my house before.
Mm-hmm.
For one, you don't know what's going to come through. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you can open a door and anything can come through, and if you don't close it correctly, you're going to leave the door open, and then other things can just keep on coming, you know?
Right. I know Jeff and I feel like we don't like to use our equipment in our house.
No.
Our house is our safety area, and we don't want to invite anything in or bring anything home.
Yeah.
So,
okay, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I know what you mean about the dowsing rods. I carry 50 pounds of stuff with my 101 pockets of my... I have an ovilist, a millimeter, all the K2s, digital record. I just...
Cameras.
Everything. And we'll sit down and I'll put everything out and we sit there and say, okay, let's ask some questions. And it's quiet. And we're saying, hey, can you please light up my K2? Can you do this? And all right, let's break out the dowsing rods.
Yeah.
See if they're really here. And I tell you, there are times I don't get anybody. You know what? I'm not feeling it. And if it takes a really long time for the rods to move, it could be my body, my mind telling my hands to move. So I'll tell my wife, I say, you know what? I'm not feeling it. You do it. And if we don't get anything, let's just move to a different
I actually like that, because if they moved all the time, then I would question that.
Yeah.
So I like being certain places where we don't get anything. And other places where we get a lot of movement, because that makes that more significant, I think.
Yeah.
So, Maddie, do you want Jeff to tell you about his new invention?
Yeah.
Oh. So speaking of the K2...
Now, it's great, and we have used it, but we just thought we could improve it.
So you can see the K2 on your screen, right?
Yep.
Just your typical. There have been so many times that we're at a ghost location, and this will blip. And I'll say, oh, we got a hit with the K2. Did you see that? No. And so it's great for the person holding it and looking at it. Yeah. But for anybody else around you, it was another one of these opportunities. I said, you know what? I do a lot of filming, and I don't want to have to dedicate a camera to the K2.
Yeah.
So I wanted to invent something that anybody in the room will see turn on. And that's where I came up with the Paralight. So here, this is just turned on.
Yeah.
And so how I demo this is I have a standard, this is an EM pump. All that does is just generate EMF. It's speculated that the spirits use EMF, such as this EM pump. I don't know, that's yet to be determined. But it's good to prove. And so there's the lantern. And as I get this down to it.
Can you see the colors? I don't know if it's too bright here or not.
I could turn the kitchen light off.
Can you see it, Maddie?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so the whole purpose of this, first of all, it's a really cool lantern. And who doesn't like to carry a lantern when they're investigating, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's so easy, you can just shut it and it turns off. And then you just pull it open and it turns on. Yeah. And this pink band stays lit all the time. Mm-hmm. And then, so as EMF comes close to it, and Jeff will show you again, then the light bands go all the way up to the top.
Yep.
So it's neat because it's 360 degrees and everybody can see it in the room, rather than a K2 where it's just a tiny little light.
So you can see the K2 going off, and then there's the lantern going off. Yeah. So.
And our daughter designed this, the one who's really artistic.
The Paralight logo.
See the little Paralight logo? So that was her input. So what do you think of that?
It looks very cool.
It is very cool, Jeff. Again, it's functional, not just cool, but it is cool too.
Yeah.
So about 2 weeks ago, I decided it was time to get it on the market. I had enough stock to make some, and I went on Facebook, and we sold out in a day and a half. I made 10 of them. I was all worried. I said, I wonder if I could sell these 10. And in a day and a half, they were gone. So I had to get a hold of my electrical buddy. He got some more circuit cards. The next batch went in about a day and a half. And so this past 4 days, I've been working on yet another batch and just released a good friend of ours, Dave Giuliano, from GhostHunterStore.com is now carrying them. And so they're also on Amazon and there, GhostHunterStore.com.
Yeah. It's hard because, Jeff goes through a whole period of like research and development. It's kind of like what he would do at a job, but he does it in our basement. And you should see our basement.
I took it over.
He took over my basement. Anyway, so, there's a lot of modifications and changes and testing and all that kind of stuff until you get to the final product.
Oh,
and so we're really excited. We haven't even used it very much. We're going to take it to Penhurst.
At the Louisville post office.
Yeah. Yeah,
we had some pretty good hits there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun designing things. I got a CAD program. I design 3D parts. I have 3D printers. I wonder if you've heard about those. You know what a 3D printer is?
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Okay. You probably heard about those in school. Anyways, I would have those running, design a few parts up, make them, put them together, tweak them again. So it's a lot of fun. And I've got plans for... Have you ever heard of Boo Buddy? Is that the little paranormal bear?
Mm-hmm.
I've got something.
You
got one?
Do you have one? I bought Jeff one, too. It's nice to take kind of like trigger objects, especially if there's kids. Aha. You have a lot of equipment.
Is that your equipment cabinet behind you?
No, it's my Ghostbuster stuff.
Okay, Ghostbusting.
And then books. And then some crystals up here, because I had to make room for my other action figures.
Okay, yep, that's Boo Buddy.
Yeah.
And Boo Buddy's great. Is that the little one or the big one?
Oh, this is the big one.
Okay.
Oh, you have the fancy one that does
like
a lot of
the
things,
one.
right?
Yeah, like...
What I would like to work on is, it looks like Boo Buddy on steroids. So the technology that I developed for the Paralight would be adapted to the Boo Buddy, or the Para-Bear, I think I'm going to call it.
He's going to have para-pets.
Aw.
We're not sure what kind of pets.
Dog.
What kind of pets would you vote for? A para-puppy?
Yeah, a para-puppy.
What about
he's so cute.
a clown?
No clowns. Clowns are scary.
A para-Stay Puff. I'll buy 12.
We've had this conversation in our family before.
Yeah. So I have a lot of...
Oh, look at that. Is that from Ghostbusters?
Is that a trigger object, or is that just something
It's just a
scary?
plushie.
Okay.
I think you
It's
like
my
it.
baby. Yeah. Never bring it out, but...
So, like, what do the other kids think of you? Do they think this is really cool? Do they think it's kind of strange?
As in ghost or human? Okay.
No, just your interest in this, like your friends or other kids at school.
Okay, so a lot of people think that I'm weird, and a lot of people call me a witch. And I'm like, I am not a witch. I am a person. Come at me. Okay, no. Like, I'm just a regular person with a hobby, so,
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's probably because they don't understand it. And I bet you they really think it's cool.
There's a really good idea. Para-Panda.
Oh, did somebody type that in?
Yeah, Matt Waddell. Okay.
Well, thank you, Matt. We appreciate that.
Para-Panda.
Any other ideas? A I mean, yeah, we can do the whole alliteration thing with P's, like para puppy and para panda.
A pair of underwear.
A pair of underwear, there you go. A paramecium.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's okay.
So anyhow, I have a lot of things bubbling up in my head, but the Paralight and dowsing rods right now are super keeping me busy.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's only one person down there working hard all day. So sometimes I'll go down and I'll help him trim the ends of the dowsing rods, or I'll make the boxes for him. It's hard to know, is this something that people are going to want to buy? We also had another idea about, should we talk about the renting thing at all?
We're going to try to talk to institutions like the Ohio State Reformatory on rental program.
Mm-hmm. What would you think about that? Now, you have a lot of equipment, but we're thinking sometimes there's people who haven't invested a lot yet, and maybe when they go to a location, they might want to pay an extra $5 or something to rent.
Yeah, like
some
a set
equipment,
of dowsing rods.
like a set of dowsing rods to try for the night. Because then you can try them and see if you like them before you actually invest in them. What do you think of that idea?
That would actually be really cool. Like, you should make some, I'm not sure how to explain it, but like a little box, and then somebody giving out like little cards, and then you should program it to where if you swipe a card, it opens up a specific thing so you can grab it and then return it. I tried, okay? I tried to explain it.
Hey, you're being creative.
Sounds
but
like a red box for video.
Yeah, basically.
Go to your local gas station and there's a set of dowsing rods.
Or a Coke can.
I'll put my card in.
But we were thinking, like, if the place had an office, they would just do that. So they could rent it, and they could make money, too. And then people could, because, like, we can't afford all of the latest stuff. I would like to try some things that we don't have. I mean, we don't have an SLS camera.
The Kinect camera. That's pretty cool. Did you get one yet?
Oh, no.
Actually.
We're going to come borrow things from your house. You can rent them.
I have so many fans in here. Fans. Okay, yeah.
Now, have you used this on an investigation?
Look at you.
And then I also have one on a tripod.
Oh, my gosh.
We're thinking about putting this one on my RC Jeep.
What's an RCG?
I don't know.
Jeep controlled.
Her little remote controlled Jeep. Okay, got it.
Yeah. We have to find the remote, though.
Yeah. Well, how about like the portal kind of thing? Have you ever tried one of those? The boxes where the voices come through? Now, those are like $700, so we'd have to win the lottery or something to be able to afford one of those.
I would have to beg my dad for weeks,
Yeah, but see, I was thinking like if a place, like the big places, whether it's Waverly Hills or Trans-Allegheny or, I don't know what's out your direction, but like that would be so fun if your group could all pitch in and rent one for the night and try it and see what you think about it before you try to buy it. That's just an idea we have going.
That's something we're going to pursue.
A red box, but for women, it's a parabox.
There you go. Good idea. All right. So do you have any other questions? We're talking a lot.
Okay. Let's check the time. Okay. I think that we're going to do one more question.
Okay.
So how many people are in your group? And who are they?
Okay. Well, officially Amanda's part of it.
Well, yeah.
See, we're kind of a husband and wife team. And yet, this is kind of the funny part. At my elementary school where I teach, a bunch of the teachers like to go with us too, but we don't really make that public to the kids.
You don't tell little kids about it.
Because that's kind of like a K2 building, And so we do have people on and off, and, a kindergarten teacher, our librarian.
Yeah.
And then we have some good friends.
It's Team Spectre.
Okay, but see, we also are kind of part of Team Spectre too.
Yeah.
And boy, they have a wide range of people. Not everybody can always show
We
up.
even have people, Gettysburg Paranormal
And
Association.
yeah.
That's where we'll be at Pennhurst, and we're going to meet up with some of those people.
Paul and Angie, they're our good friends. They're part of Gettysburg Paranormal.
Yeah, GPA.
And Joe Dutt, who really helped teach us a lot originally. In fact, he introduced us to the dowsing rods. Mm-hmm. He kind of leads Team Spectre, but we also do a lot with him and those people. So it's kind of like North Canton Paranormal Detectives, our company, is just the two of us, but we have a lot of people who investigate with us and with whom we investigate. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And we also go to a lot of conventions, and we meet people there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Ohio State one was canceled this year, but we've got West Virginia
State Penitentiary.
That's coming up at the end of June. We're going to be there for the convention.
Yeah, because things are starting to open back up. And I think people are, who enjoy doing this, they're ready to get back out and do it again. Yeah. Is that how you feel? Have you been able to investigate?
Kinda. With everything going on.
Yeah, I didn't know if things had been shut down.
Did you do remote learning from home?
Sadly.
Well, I had to learn that too. I took over for a second grade class at the end of the year, so the kids, the curriculum, the technology, it was all interesting.
Sue became a YouTube sensation with all her teachings. She'd be downstairs teaching a lesson, and then I would take the video and upload it to YouTube. And
then I found out all these people were watching it. Oh my gosh, that's kind of embarrassing.
It's
so
okay.
What are some places to investigate out your way? Because, we're used to Ohio and what's near us.
Okay. So my favorite place is literally right near me. So I'm in Iowa, right?
Okay, Iowa.
Rock Island, or Illinois, is right next to us.
Okay.
Literally. Dan Viner Furniture is the place.
A furniture store?
Yeah, it used to be an old YMCA, and then it turned into a U-Haul, and now it's a furniture store.
Okay, so is it functional? I mean, is it open to the public?
Yeah.
Okay.
They still sell
It's
furniture?
not like an old furniture store from the 1920s or something.
Okay, so the owner, Lisa Viner,
all right.
She takes care of the place, and I'm pretty sure that she has it down to where it can't be torn down. But it's 4 floors with a basement, and the place is huge.
Okay.
Which, after this, I can tell you more history because I'm kind of a tour guide, if you know what I mean. I know basically most of the history there.
So is it open to paranormal groups?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the name of it again? I just want to write it down.
Dan Viner Furniture in Rock Island, Illinois.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll make it out there sometime, and you can be our tour guide.
Rock
Island.
Rock Island.
Yep. Yeah, over this summer, last summer, because all this stuff going on, I can't go there. Mm-hmm. But either way, over last summer, that was basically a camp to me, because I would be there mostly every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where both my ghosts here come from. Of course, they go back to there if I tell them to, because they're really nice. They're like, okay, They understand.
So are you saying they attached to you there and they came home to your house and they go back and forth?
Yeah, basically. Which I'm okay as long as they're not hurting anybody,
Okay. What do you know about them?
Okay, so there's Dave, also known as David. He used to be there, and I'm not sure how he died specifically. I'm pretty sure that it was in a fire because there were several fires in the building.
Okay.
But he was a janitor there. And then there's also Mary. I don't know much about her. I just know that she's a lady. She wears a bun and a big poofy dress.
Have you seen her?
My mom has. I have not, but I've seen David a lot.
Really?
Yeah. I'll be walking past my office because my room is literally right outside. and I'll be walking past and I just see a silhouette. I'm like, hi, David.
Wow. So do you think you're sensitive then?
I don't want to say that I am or I'm not, because I sometimes feel things. Like I've been told by multiple people that I have a gift and I can feel things, but I'm not for sure,
Right. Well, sometimes it takes a while to develop it.
Yeah.
They say we all can do it. We just have to develop it. I'm going to...
Bless you.
I'm sorry.
Bless you. Trust me, I did it too.
I was out trimming bushes today and all that pollen,
Okay, we got 4 minutes. Are you going to be part of the world's largest ghost hunt this year?
I wonder if they're still going to have it.
It's in October, I think.
Do you know about that?
Yeah, I know what it is. Probably. Probably just going to go down to Lisa's and be like, hey, let's go get some ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can stay at my house and be like, David, talk to me, please. Okay. How much time? All right.
About 4 minutes, okay.
Okay. So, do you guys like games?
Oh, that's right. You were going to play a game with us.
Yeah.
So rapid fire. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, let me start the timer.
It's
okay. It's okay.
Is this like trivia?
Not really.
Go ahead.
Here, let me put on the timer. Reset. Okay. Ready?
Okay.
What's your greatest achievement?
Is this Susie or me?
Both of you.
Okay, go ahead. Or you want me to go first? I think my greatest achievement is helping dyslexic kids learn to read.
Okay.
That's really rewarding.
All right.
Raising a good family.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 kids that all turned out pretty well. Pretty good.
That's the right answer, I think.
And then the dowsing rods.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Last time you got scared.
I don't get scared. But truthfully, I went into an abandoned home.
He shouldn't tell you this.
That I think there was homeless people living there. And I was looking for a place to investigate, and I was really scared I was going to stumble upon a real person. But we don't get scared during ghost hunting.
I think when you ghost hunt, you go in there knowing what you're looking for. Now, if I wasn't in that frame of mind and something popped out at me or touched me and I wasn't ready for that, then that would be pretty scary. Okay. But he should not have gone into this abandoned house. No, I really got on his case for that, because what if he would have fallen through the floor and nobody knew where he was?
Got mugged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got mugged.
Next question.
That was not a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Who is your favorite superhero? You guys just both look at each other like, what?
I like Iron Man.
He likes the song. He'll blare the song.
Iron Man.
In fact, I have to tell you, Maddie.
Who's your favorite
hero?
You have to answer the question.
It's okay. We can skip that one if you'd like. Okay.
Next one.
But I have to tell you, he had a whole bunch of these in a row, and he was blaring Iron Man, and he was acting like he was playing the drums with his magnet, but it was hysterical. Yeah. He needs to put that up.
So here's a magnet, and when you wave the magnet, so I was beating on him like a drum, and that was a lot of fun. It was like a rock and roll.
Maybe we'll send you that video just for your eyes only.
Sorry, that's funny.
Okay, next question.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool are you?
11.
Oh, come on. No. I'm probably a 6. I wish I was cooler. I wish I was funnier and wittier.
But it's just a question, 1 to 10. I don't know.
You're an 11, I'm a 6. He's very creative. He's very right brain. I'm very left brain, but that's why we make a good couple.
Okay, next.
I would say 10 and 11. Because that's what you said. Okay.
Maddie, and do you think I'm pretty? Will you give me confidence too?
Yes. You are beautiful. You are beautiful.
You have to tell us through the dowsing rods. All right, next question.
Where is the worst place you could get stuck at?
I think I'm a slow processor. The worst place? How about a desert? I don't want to be in a desert.
I like the challenge. I just need to have my wallet when I'm there. That's why.
And you're going to have your wallet, what, to drink in the desert?
No, I just lose my wallet. So.
Oh,
okay.
He does. He always loses his wallet and his keys.
Where's supposed to get stuck at? I don't know.
He's like this absent-minded inventor.
Next.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Neither.
Oh, we are not gamers. Either. We were watching Saturday Night last night, and they
made fun of gamers.
Funny. What is it? The Legend League or something?
Okay. Next.
You know, the whole esports thing. We are so out of that. We need to get cooler.
We're not cool.
Residential or commercial investigations?
9 times out of 10, people have called into us and they say, "Please investigate my house." We do. We try to set it up, and 9 times out of 10, they back out.
I think they are afraid. They're always afraid of making it worse instead of better.
It's usually
probably
bigger
commercial
places.
then.
Waverly Hills.
I like bigger places.
Big places, commercial. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Spiritus or SB7?
What was the first one?
Spiritus.
I don't know what Spiritus is.
We know what an SB7
I know what an SB7 is.
Okay. Then just go with that.
Or SB11 now.
Hey.
Okay. The SB7 is. Why do you have to have it hooked up to the broadcasting? Because something's going to bleed through, and you'll think you got a hit on it, but it could have been a radio station coming through. People use them, but I'm very cautious about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technology. He likes to use gray noise.
It's a whole different subject.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother
show about microphones and EVPs.
And gray noise.
And gray noise.
Go ahead.
Okay, creamy or chunky peanut butter?
Chunky.
Yes.
Peanut butter. I knew the answer to that one. Yeah. Like, I love nuts, you know? And he's like, oh, they spoil everything.
They do. That's why they're there.
Okay, ice cream or custard?
Ice
cream.
Cherry.
Favorite flavor?
Butter pecan.
I like the Marciano cherries. How do you say that?
How do you say that? Marciano?
The cherry vanilla.
The cherry vanilla ice cream.
In fact, I could get some right after this.
Except I'm on a diet, so I don't do ice cream too much. I've been eating a lot of yogurt.
Okay.
I like turtle.
Oh, I like turtle too.
Hey.
Nuts are there.
Horror or adventure movies?
I'm sorry, horror or adventure movies?
Adventure.
Adventure, because the horror is too fake. You know, we can go investigate stuff for that.
Horror is like a comedy to me, so.
I know, it's goofy, so I'd rather watch an adventure.
What's your favorite on TV show on TV?
Not
reality TV.
We'll talk about that later. I'm not gonna.
Okay. Oh, you're not allowed to
ruin
say.
Your time.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna ruin your time. Okay. Late nights or early mornings?
Late
nights. We've been going to bed at 2
o'clock. Yeah.
Dogs or cats?
Okay. No. I'm a dog person, but we have 5 cats because we've adopted strays.
Yeah.
Aww. I know.
As soon as this is done, I'll get the food out, and our little raptors will come running. But they're so cool. We get along really good with them.
We love all animals.
We do.
Okay. Pizza or tacos?
Pizza. Romeo's. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. That sweet sauce is so good.
Okay.
Okay. So your time was 6 minutes, 54 seconds, and 74 milliseconds. But I'm going to give you a little thing because there's 2 of you, so I'm going to cut it in half. It's 3 something.
I didn't know this was timed.
I told you this.
Oh, yeah, well, what about the quality of our answers?
That's why I kept telling you we're going.
I didn't get that. Sorry.
Wait.
Oh,
I need my calculator. Like, I don't know. 54.
I think the quality of our answer should count.
Okay, so we're just going to say that 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Yes, okay. As you can tell, I'm not very good at math.
But you're a good catcher.
Yes.
With a bum knee.
We don't talk about that. Okay, no.
All right.
Okay, well, I'm starting to see the shadow man rounding the corner telling me that our time is almost over. So I'd really like to thank Jeff and Susie for taking time out of their busy schedules to come on and chatting with myself and my listeners. So, Thank you.
Thank you.
Before you do go, where can people find you and where can they buy your things at, your little gadgets?
Okay, if you just visit our website, it's ncpdohio.com. And right on that first page, you just scroll down and you can see all the things I've invented. And if you hit one of the little links, it'll take you right to Amazon or to the ghosthunterstore.com. And that's where and then I have a Facebook page, North Canton Paranormal Detectives.
Yeah, so, come check us out. And any feedback or suggestions are always
good or
welcome.
bad. I like all feedback.
Yep.
If you have bad feedback, I'll just ban you forever.
No.
No.
Maddie, it was really nice getting to know you better.
Yeah.
Same here. I really like it. Very nice to meet you guys.
Air hug.
Yeah, air hug. Elbow pump. Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta get my hand sanitizer.
Oh, yeah.
Corona.
For sure.
Corona. Okay.
So who's your guest for next week?
Let's see. That would be... Sorry, I make the weirdest faces. Hold on. It's on here, right? Or... it's Mustafa Gallery. I try to pronounce the last name multiple times, and I just slaughter it, so...
Is he on Ghost Hunters too?
Yeah.
Boy.
He teams up with the guy last week. They both go off together. Mustafa and what's his name? Starts with a J, right?
I don't know.
You couldn't say it in the one program. You kind of...
Stop.
I was listening to your radio show. Yeah. All right, Mustafa next week. Okay, that's great. I think you'll have a fun time with him.
And we'll have to listen in.
Okay. Yeah. So now for all my listeners out there, I'd really like to say thank you for being with me tonight. My next show will be July 9th with, just like we said, Mustafa Gatarate. I tried to pronounce it.
Sounds good.
I'm probably slaughtering it, so correct me in my next show if I'm saying it wrong. Okay. As my special guest. So make sure if you're not following me, give me a follow at Madison Paranormal Investigation on Facebook, Maddie_Paranormal_Investigation on Instagram. And for tonight, peace, love, and happiness. And most of all, be spoopy, everyone.